first half you guys seemed a little bit out of sorts there, but you got a response there in the second half. What was the difference between the two halves, you think, tonight?
Yeah, I think in the first half, again, just a little bit disjointed in some of our possessions. Defensively, we're a little too opened up. Conceded too much of the middle at times, and some of our just individual defending I didn't think was great. We were getting pulled out of spaces and allowing guys to get in behind us. All that being said, it was essentially 1-0, and we didn't have a ton of good chances in the first half, but we weren't controlling the middle of the field, and we weren't getting ourselves across the field in our attacks. We were sometimes, because of the way we were opened up defensively, we're too far apart from each other, and we were rushing things forward again a little bit too much. I thought the second half was the opposite. I thought we were a little more connected in terms of our spacing. So it allowed us to control the middle of the park a little bit more, which meant we recovered balls better. We were closer to help each other. And I felt like we did a better job of not forcing, for most of the half, we did a better job of not forcing things just straight forward, but we would work more at angles instead of vertically. And I think that started to open up some opportunities for us, and we were able to build some numbers into our attacks, and we were able to create some good chances. But I think, at 1-0, I think, honestly, the penalty is disaster for us because I think the referee was looking for it. He had warned Julian twice. I think, seeing it's not anything that doesn't happen on every corner kick where guys are jockeying and working for position and they're in the body and all that kind of stuff. But I think he was just looking for it. His eyes were on it, and he was just looking for something to call, and he picked something out and he made a call. And that, at 2-0, it becomes a little bit of a different chase than at 1-0. Having said that, it went to 3, and we still were able to work ourselves back into it and have a shot with some chances in the latter part of the second half to get ourselves back into this thing. So, I thought there was some, especially in the second half, some positive moments in some of our attacking, our ball movement, the way we were working across the field. And defensively, I thought we were better. We did a better job of just winning the spaces in the middle of the field in the second half. So that helped us to control the game a little better.
You have an update on Javier?
Nothing more than I think it's a right knee issue that we don't know until we get an MRI to see where it's at. So our fingers are crossed, but we don't know yet what we're dealing with.
Thank you.
Josh, go ahead.
Hey, Greg. Thanks for talking to us. Appreciate it. With Gaston, he seemed to spur you guys on with the penalty kick again. Are you finding some consistency with him in that spot, taking penalty kicks? And what about the midfield in this game? It seemed to maybe not have as much control in the first half as you guys wanted.
Yeah, I think, again, the midfield, I thought, defensively, when we don't get pressure to the ball, they push a lot of numbers high, and we started to get spread out. Our wingers started to get both pretty wide, and then it becomes a lot of territory for our two defensive midfielders, our double pivots, to kind of cover that space. And then when we recover the ball, we're also pretty far apart from each other. So in those transition moments, I thought we played so vertically at times that we don't allow ourselves the opportunity to really establish control of the game, control the ball, control the midfield, those kinds of things. And I thought that was a big chunk of some of our disconnect in the first half, and I thought we cleaned that up in the second half. And also in the second half when we were closer together, I thought, we saw some step outs from Gaston where he really showed, some aggressive stepping forward, and whether that was closing or getting involved in the attack, he started to kind of power us a little bit forward too, with Ricky, who was able to find good spots and build some speed at the back line. I thought we built some momentum through the course of that game, or through the course of the second half, and a lot of it just had to do with we were just more connected, and we weren't as vertical. We were bringing each other into the game, again working across the field and bringing more numbers into the attack instead of just trying to do it all in 2 or 3 passes.
And Gaston on the penalty kicks, do you feel comfortable with him in that role?
I do. I think he goes up there with a clear plan, and he steps up and hits it with confidence. So that's a good thing. He hits the ball well. He strikes the ball well, and when you go up there with a clear plan and you put the ball where you want to put it, then you have a good opportunity to score. And he's not like a one-shot guy. He can hit the ball to different spots in the goal. So, I appreciate that he has that confidence. He steps up and he hit it. There's other guys that want a chance too, but right now he's burying them, so he gets the ball.
Thanks, Rick.
Kevin, go ahead.
Hey, Greg, thanks again for your time. You said right knee with Chicharito, and Vicky had said the same thing at halftime. On the video, it looked like the left. So I just want to make sure that it's the right knee. And you don't seem, right now, just looking at your demeanor, you don't seem overly concerned. Is it one of those things that maybe looked worse the way Chicharito reacted than maybe it really is? And will he stay in Utah overnight? Did he go to a hospital, or will he come back with you? Thank you. Sorry, I know that's a lot.
It's the right knee. My demeanor doesn't really have. There's no tell in any of my demeanor. I'm just, I'm concerned for him in general, because I'm always concerned when somebody goes down with a knee injury and has to come off the field. I always have fear for everybody in that situation, and I fear for Javi when he gets it. I have hopes and prayers that it's nothing serious, but I have concerns because the guy is had to come off the field, so I always have concerns. I forget what the last part of the question was.
Will he stay in Utah overnight?
I think he'll travel back and see our docs and do his stuff in LA.
Okay, thank you. Thanks a lot. Safe travels.
Thank you.
Alex, go ahead.
Hey Greg, this is another game where your strikers don't really find the back of the net. What needs to happen for them to start scoring goals?
Well, I thought tonight Dejan had one or two good looks. He didn't make good contact on a couple of the cutbacks that might have been there. Sometimes it's a question of, are they getting clear chances? There's a couple of times I think he really needs to work hard to get to the near post, and he might have a little bit of a better finish than if he ends up on the backside of the front side center back. Again, I think sometimes I said to the guys, sometimes more often than we should, we bail out for a shot from 20 yards, 15 yards out, where we don't really have a clear window, where it's kind of we're hoping we can hit it and put it in the back of the net. But those are low percentage moments when we need to work deeper to get guys closer to the inline, which brings our forwards more into the game so that they can get more space to work. Because when you get to the inline, then center backs tend to defend deeper, and then you open up spaces in between your lines to try to finish, which your forwards can use. But it's difficult if our attacks don't get deep into the end line or deep into the box, because it just doesn't open up a lot of space for the forwards to work, And so, other than that, then it's just got to be runs in behind the line, and you're slipping them in, and you're trying to set them for chances on that side of things. But neither of our guys, have runaway speed in that capacity. Both of them are guys who work really well when you back up center backs, and then they have their sharp movements in the box and they organize to finish in one touch. That's when they're usually at their best. And so I think we have to keep working to get them as many good looks as we can, and then they'll get their rhythm and get their confidence and start hitting the back of the net.
Yeah, and the squad morale being eliminated in this round again for a second consecutive year. The last game here was you guys did complete the comeback. For you, just leading the squad forward, there's been a lot of ups and downs. So how are you kind of approaching these next couple of games, mentality-wise?
Yeah, I think obviously the guys want to win every game. They want to stay in the tournament, so they're disappointed. They'll process the results. As I said to them, we take away some of the good things. I did think tonight was one of the nights where I really felt that our attacks started to, not in the first half, but in the second half, started to look in the what I call zone 3, which is sort of you're crossing half field and you're entering the finishing zone. The attack started to look real, and they started to move, and we started finding guys in the right gaps, in the right spaces, and the attack started to look like something that you can really believe in, and that you're going to get those opportunities every single game. And that's what I think we need to take away from, some parts of this half, or the second half in this game, is we've got to be able to repeat those types of movements, those types of actions, because like I said, they're going to show up every game. We've got players who can who can punish teams in those spaces when we get the ball moving quickly. Sometimes we're over touching the ball and we're getting stripped, we're getting poked, but when we move the ball quickly and we get the guys in the spaces that they need and we work across and we bring guys into the attack, and I saw that tonight, I think we can be a really good team in the attack. And then we'll start to get our forwards some real opportunities to finish when we can start doing that. On the defensive side, I thought there were some naive mistakes on tonight in some of the one-on-one defending situations. And then, like I said, we didn't control the middle of the field, which we have to do a little bit better for sure, which we did in the second half. So this one is take the things out of it that you did. And for us right now, our big talk and focus is on sticking to and being disciplined to the things that make us good and not trying to rush just to try to win a game, but to stay inside of our vision, inside of our identity, and keep doing the things that makes each of our players great and contributes to the quality of our team. And when we try to change from that, then we see some of the things that we don't quite do as well.
Thank you, Greg. Safe travels back.
We'll take one last from Jonathan Sigel with MLS Soccer. Go ahead, Jonathan.
Thanks, Vicky, and hi, Greg. I wanted to ask if I may, just a non-game question. I mean, today was obviously a pretty significant moment for Major League Soccer in terms of Lionel Messi announcing that he's planning to come. Contracts aren't officially signed, but I think it's all but done. How do you view that, this moment for MLS as a whole? What does this portend for MLS? And as someone who's been a part of this league for so long, just seeing this come together in the fashion it looks to be.
Yeah, I think there was another moment back when I was a player, that when David Beckham came to MLS, and David is one of those guys, Messi is one of those guys, even Zlatan in his own like is kind of one of those guys. They transcend the game. They bring so many eyes to our league, and not just soccer fans, but just fans of the game, sometimes just entertainment people. Like they're people who are players who they just bring so much recognition, notoriety, and eyes to our league. And it's an opportunity for us to showcase how much our league has grown since the days that when David was here to now when Messi comes, and to show how the quality has changed and the league has improved. And I think the David signing was equally as significant. The signing Messi isn't more significant. It's just a different era, a different player, and a different opportunity to bring a lot of eyes to it. And ultimately, I think the success of it will be determined by how he comes and he performs inside of the league. I do believe that, because you got to come to the league and take it serious, take it for real, help his team be great, make the players around him great. He's got all the qualities and tools. For me, he's the best player in the world. I have huge admiration for what he does. And I hope he comes here and lights the league on fire and shows that, this league matters just as much as every other league, and he's here to take the game forward and to show that our league is moving forward, and he can help to move it to another level forward. And if that's the case, this will be huge success, and it'll be a huge deal. If it goes the other way, then I don't know what to make of it. But this is an opportunity for our league to showcase itself through the lens of one of the greatest player ever, arguably, and I think that's amazing. It's another indication that we're moving in the right direction. But I think performance, all those things matter inside of this as well. It's not just about the name of the player. I think it has to come down to all the other things on the field and off the field and everything else.
Thanks for entertaining that, and safe travels.
Yep.
One last one from Damien.
Okay.
Damien, go
Hey,
ahead.
Greg, one more. You got 30 minutes from Douglas and also a goal. How did he look in your eyes, and how confident are you that you can get these performances and with an increase of minutes going forward here?
Yeah, I thought he came on and I thought he looked sharp. There's no denying his quality. You see it when he plays, and what we want to keep Douglas doing inside of it is keeping him dynamic. Where he's moving off the ball, he's moving with the ball, he's building some tempo into our attacks. That tonight he had a wonderful finish that he's capable of doing. He did that off of the acceleration to get back to the inside and open up his left foot for a shot. So it's continuing to get just consistency from him, which will allow him to build up his fitness levels to be able to do those types of things and stay dynamic and stay playing through every transition and every possession and every defensive moment. And that's going to be him staying healthy. It's going to be him continuing to build on those minutes, and it's going to be on him when he gets his minutes to really focus on staying dynamic and being able to be a difference maker. But I thought his entrance helped change the game. Honestly, it helped change the game. It also gives us a player, in this game where with a left foot who can get us going from right to left. I feel like in the early part of the season we've been so left to right, and this gives us a different look because we can also now take the game back to the left a little bit more, which hopefully will bring a little bit more balance into some of our attacks and like I said, build us across the field. But I thought his entrance was good and his 30 minutes were solid. We got to keep building on that, and we got to see it with consistency match after match. And for me, quality-wise, there's no doubt that he can impact every single game that he comes in if all the right tools and all the right efforts and energies and all those things are put out there every single time, and he's in the right fitness level, all that stuff. He was solid at the end of the year last year. We just need to get him going, and we need to keep him healthy, and like I said, build up his fitness.
All right, thank you.
Thanks for your time, Greg.
Recording stop.